Good evening, everybody. I'm very sorry about the noise in the background. I've left the stream on YouTube in the background, but never mind. Good evening. Welcome to a little bit of a different show tonight on the Toon Review. Obviously, all the transfer stuff and everything like that, we will keep you covered on. We just thought we'd do, well, actually, Billy came up with the great idea to sort of ask you guys to set the agenda for the show. So basically what we're going to do is, if you guys have any footballing questions you want to ask, or you've got a suggestion for a show in the future, or you simply want to ask me or Billy any questions, you can do that. Now, Billy, if you can talk for the next round about 30 seconds, because I forgot to change my internet over, and tell me what you think of those new strips, or the new home one anyway.
Yeah, I love the home one's fantastic. It's got 80s vibes to it, obviously. Brings back memories of Gazza and Beardsley and Kevin Keegan and Chris Waddle and them kind of players. It's the away ones I'm looking forward to, because you can't really nose up black and white stripes, can you? Yeah, black and white stripes, unless you put a 4 on the front of it, of course. So I'm looking forward to the away ones. I really want to see that silver one that's floating about. That's sensational. If we get that one of them, I'll definitely be up for one of them. But yeah, I really like the strip, actually. Really like it. Not skin on white socks, though. I like black socks.
Right, I'm back. Good. Yes. Well, we may as well get cracking straight off. By the way, guys, if you do enjoy tonight's show, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We really rely on that so we can be found on the search results on YouTube. And of course, if you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Come and be part of this incredible community that we have here on the Toon Review. And if you're feeling generous and you want to donate to the channel, and of course, get your comment guaranteed to be read out, you can send a super chat to the show, donate to us by hitting that $sign at the bottom of the live comments. We do put as much as we can back into the channel, because obviously technology grows all the time and equipment is needed to keep the shows coming. So thank you in advance for all that, guys. But it also means that you get your comment read out, guaranteed. Right, Ian Spoons. Well, actually, before we ask that question, we got a 100 kroner, Norwegian kroner super chat from Trolls. Thank you very much, buddy. He says, I can't make it tonight, so I thought at least I'll donate. That is very kind, matey. Thank you. And Josh T, welcome to Members Club. Not sure if it's a renewal or whether that's a new membership, but thank you anyway, matey, and welcome to the club. Right, here we go. Billy, this one's for you. It's from Spoons. What do you do for a living, mate?
I work in a factory. I'm a CNC programmer. I program machines to turn metal, basically. What used to be done on lathes years ago is now done via computers. You program it to do what you want it to do, and it's really boring, horrifically boring. But it pays the bills.
Well, he says apart from OnlyFans, apart from OnlyFans, obviously.
You probably like the first time.
yeah, indeed. Ian A, good evening. Roger, good evening. Rachel, Julie J, good evening. S32 up the Toon. Stu, good evening to you. Connie, good evening. Paul Feeney, evening. KB over in Belfast, good evening. Sean, John says, great to see you back. Aaron says, how come sometimes you can comment on here and sometimes you can't? The only time you can't comment, Aaron, is if it's a watch along and you're not subscribed to the channel. Now, the reason why we do this is we get some absolute bozos who just want to troll and spoil it for everybody. So basically, we made the decision to put the watch alongs to subscriber only. So if you're not subscribed, you won't be able to comment during the watch alongs, but all the other shows you can. If you are subscribed and you can't comment, then I don't know. I honestly don't know. Sometimes YouTube can be a bit weird. From week to week, sometimes you can comment and it doesn't show up or whatever. I don't know. But that's the only reason, Aaron, that I can think of. The only rules we have in place is you need to be subscribed to be able to comment. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be a member. That just means you have to be subscribed to the channel, which is, of course, free. But if you're a subscriber, then you can obviously comment. Julie J says, new strip, amazing. Yeah, I ordered mine yesterday, Billy. 70 spunders. But I did read a comment on social media today saying, people are complaining about the price of the shirt. However, if there was a home game, you know, and you were going out for a few drinks or that before you'd probably spend about that anyway. So you know what I mean? It's like, I know it's expensive, and listen, I know there's some people can't afford the strip. It's very understandable. However, when they come back in stock, we're going to get a few to give away on the channel. We'll get some different sizes as well, and we'll give some away as prizes on the channel. I think that's what we could do, Billy, as well, just to give a bit back to the viewers as well.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Another new member, David Bell. Welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for your support of the channel moving forward, matey. And of course, any members giveaways we now do, you will be in the draw. Fats Gill says, good evening, Paul and Billy. Hope you're both well, and all the Toon Review family. How are the lads and lasses? News on the away strips. Well, I know I've tweeted one out today, Billy, and that apparently came for it. Yeah, it was a troll account, of course. However, I did speak to somebody else who'd been sent that strip from someone else, not the troll account. So, listen, if it's not, it's not. But I bloody hope it is, because I love it. I don't know about you, Billy, but I love the home one. And if that's the away strip, then they really are going back to the 80s, aren't they?
Yeah, that was the away strip when we had that home strip, wasn't it? That silver kit with a blue star on it and the little black pinstripe on it. Superb kit. Chrissy Waddle and Gaza and
I loved it.
Great kit.
It's one of my favourite strips. Of course, it had the old NUFC. But the only problem I found with it, when they first wore that, Billy, I don't know if you can remember back in the I think it was middle of the 80s. I think the blue star on it was like tiny. I don't know if you can remember when they first started wearing it. The blue star was tiny on the grey shirts. So I'm hoping that. I mean, look, the sponsors on the new shirt, I'd have liked it had the logo not been there. I don't know about you, but it just may be the name of the company and not the logo, because it looks a bit. However, I love the shirt. I absolutely love it. Kevin Greener loves the new strip. Seen a few with it on today. Looks good. Yeah, I seen a few at Sam Fender's concert last night with them on as well. Chipper says, will there be watch-alongs for the boring England games? Well, we haven't decided. I don't see why not. I think, they are World Cup qualifiers at the end of the day. But listen, I mean, I don't. The reason that England, some people like it, some people don't. I mean, we did the World Cup, didn't we, Billy? And we didn't seem to get. The views were quite poor.
I know, there was one ridiculous one. I can't remember who it was between. Someone like Croatia and Brazil got thousands of views, but then the next game, England Wales got none. It was weird. I think YouTube was playing up at that time, to be honest. Yeah,
I have a feeling it was something to do with YouTube as well, because it was bizarre how Croatia Brazil got brilliant viewing, and then the England game was like terrible. But hey ho, we might, Chippers is the answer to that. Jim says, great shirt. It gives me Juventus vibes with the black white logo. Sean loves the new home kit. Looks amazing. Ian says, what's our best and worst Premier League signings last year? Just before we do that, we've got a 50 Saudi Arabian Rial from Mohsen. Thank you very much, Mohsen. That is very kind, matey. And I hope you're well out there in Saudi Arabia. And the new strip will be selling like hotcakes over there, I would expect. So who do you think is the best and worst Premier League signings last year, Billy?
I think the best plays first, I think, it's our goalkeeper. £10 million for Nick Pope. Best signing by a long way.
I actually agree with that, yeah.
The worst has got to be Richarlison at Tottenham, I would imagine.
Yeah. Have you seen that Spurs, I mean, this is laughable now, but Spurs, when they put a tweet out of the new strip with Richarlison on it, they call him R9, which I think is a complete, absolute disgrace, because there is only one R9, of course, which was the original Ronaldo, and he can't even lace his boots. And then, of course, some of the Tottenham fans fighting back, saying, "Well, he's won he's won this, he scored out the World Cup, and all of this crap." Bollocks, right? There's only one R9. You cannot put Richarlison in the same bracket as the original Ronaldo. Just no way. Absolute farce. Optimal Forager, good evening to you, and thank you very much, matey, for your continued support. He keeps sending in super thanks on the videos. The daily news stuff as well. So thank you very much for that. Spoon says, love the strip. It's even better in real life, but think that the seller logo is like something I used to do on my Etch-a-Sketch. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, listen, One thing, though, Billy, is it's never going to be absolutely perfect, is it? There's always going to be something that we can look at it and think, maybe he's had to change that or change this. So there's always something going to be there, isn't there?
I think it's a case of getting used to it. I mean, it's a new thing for us, isn't it? A new sponsor. We've had the same sponsor for a while. I just think it's a case of getting used to it. Once the spondoolies come flying, and I'm sure people will accept it more. It's just a design at the end of the day.
Yeah. What do you think about the Champions League logo not on the ones that they sell online?
Well, I've got a feeling there may be a separate Champions League strip. You know what?
I do as well. Yeah, that's what I said yesterday.
I think Castaway, they like milking things, don't they? You know.
But all the teams do it. I mean, the Champions League teams for the last few years from the Premier League, they've either had like a very similar shirt but different sort of name and number on the back and things like that. So, time will tell. Jim says there was a pic of an away shirt online today, all white with fine pinstripes. I think it's grey, Jim. It's a sort of silvery grey. And if it is, I love it. I'll be buying that one straight away. There's no doubt about that. Andrew Johnson says, do you have any plans to ever do a show in front of a live audience at a venue? Well, I mean, that's interesting, Billy, because as we speak, Stato is trying to get that organised. We are going to have a Toon Review get-together because we haven't had a get-together to celebrate the 20,000 subscribers, and we wanted all the Toon Review all the backstage guys and everything like that, obviously, to come together and celebrate. But we thought, why are we all together? Why not just do a show? We're going to find a venue, obviously, to do it. It would be a recorded show, so obviously it would go out later on in the next few days. It wouldn't be sort of live from that venue. We would record it and then we'd put it out once I'd edited and everything. So keep your eyes and ears pinned, matey, because that may well be happening in the not so long future, which we're all looking forward to, Billy, because obviously, the Toon Review is spread out across the UK. So it'd be great for everybody to get together.
It's been a while since I've been on Tyneside. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've got to say, really looking forward to it.
And of course, Alex has already promised to pick you up and bring you up. So, it's going to happen, guys. It is going to happen. Matt, good day out there in Australia. Hope you're well, buddy. JB says, guys, do you think we have too many wide attackers yet very sparse in midfield? Well, according to Sky Sports News today, we are leading the race for Mr. Maddison, Billy. They were talking about, obviously, Tottenham being involved and Postecoglou now, obviously, manager there. But the fact is, Tottenham can't offer any European football next season. We can offer Champions League. And what's to say he goes to Tottenham and they're not in the same situation in 12 months' time? He's got a big opportunity to come to for me, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Newcastle fan, but I think it's a bigger project, Billy, next year with Newcastle rather than it would be Tottenham. Tottenham's a rebuild. Newcastle's a project. Yeah,
Spurs are starting their transition, I would imagine. Who's to say Harry Kane will be there at the beginning of next season? If he goes, got a massive rebuild to do there. All things being equal, take the money out of it, he would come to us. It's what Spurs throw at him. And their wage structure is probably more extensive than ours is. But at the same time, you've got that Champions League thing in the background. He wants to come to us. I know that's for certain. It's a case of whether we'll pay the price that Leicester want. And if we do, I think he'll come.
I know I said this in the winter. I've always believed that Maddison will end up in the black and white shirt, Billy. You've got contacts down there who obviously know Maddison, and Ian Wright even came out and said it, remember, in the winter. So I think, obviously, Newcastle will probably have been in touch with the player himself, will probably be in touch with Leicester. They're working out a deal. And like you say, it depends what Leicester do. Do they want to hold out or do they want to take the risk of holding out and then upsetting Maddison, which, I'm sure he's already spoke to Leicester. But the fact that the news is coming out that we're leading the way is very positive. So listen, I'd love Maddison. I'd love him.
What Leicester are trying to create is a it's trying to put us against Spurs, isn't it? Create. Of course
it is. Yeah,
and that's what they're trying to do and get the prize up that way. But I just don't.
And we can't really blame Leicester for that because they want as much money as they can.
But having said that, they're now in the Championship and they haven't really got any dictation.
Exactly.
Anywhere to dictate from. So
they haven't got the stronghold they did when they were a Premier League side, obviously. Godfather says, what's the watch-along schedule for next season? Who is covering the European and Cup games? Well, all of us, quite honestly. To be honest, I mean, European games, the Champions League games, I'll be at St. James's Park. Obviously, touch wood, my health's okay, and I can get to the games. If I can't, I'll be doing the watch-alongs. Billy will always be involved in them. So if I'm doing a home one, then Billy will be with me anyway. It will co-commentate. So, just because I do a home game here and there doesn't mean Billy misses out on the commentary, because we've done loads of games together and really enjoyed it. Alex has got the bit between his teeth to do some commentary now as well. And obviously Jack's got his own channel, but there will be times where he will come and do a commentary or two for us as well. So every game will be brought to you. There will be a watch along for every single game. That will not be a problem for us. So whichever guy's commentating, you will get the very best. But thanks for your question, Gort. Steve says, I think the first subject should be if Daisy is going to get around that second corner on a mountain bike. Oh, I think she does. She doesn't have to steer, you see. She just leans, Billy. You know what I mean? Just leans that way to one side and away she goes.
It's that Kim Kardashian art of hers that guides around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Wayne the Pain, good evening from Dublin. We've got a lot of subscribers in Ireland, so I hope you're well out there. Jan, good evening to you. JB says, Billy, as you work nearly on computerized for your setters these days? Yeah,
mostly. Virtually all of it is, except for the machines I work on, actually. The ones I work on go a bit old school, but I mean, this is above everyone's head. I know it is, but it's really, really, really boring, honest to God. Honest to God.
Well, listen, the bottom line is, Billy, it pays the bills, and the way the life is at the minute, that's more important. But you never know. If we, I've said this to the guys, our long-term goal is for us all to be full-time on here, and we're not going to make a joke of that. It doesn't sound stupid because of the growth of the channel. There will be at one stage where we, hopefully, fingers crossed, do become big enough where I can support these guys or even part-time, whatever it may be, to start with. So, that is our long-term goal on this channel. We're not making any secret about that. Of course we are. It's where we want to be. It's what we want to do. Alex would love to do this for a living. So would Billy. There's no doubt about that. So that is my personal goal, is to get these on the books and this Toon Review company expand and expand. So, but it takes, everything in life takes time. But hey, we've got that time. We all enjoy what we do on here, and like I say, I couldn't do it without these guys. Especially the last few weeks, it's just proven what a good team we are and how well we get on, because like I said, I've got best mates for life in these guys, and thank God I did it, because without this thing, I would never have met these guys, who I think very dearly of, and they know that, and we've leaned on each other quite a lot in the past, Billy, and obviously Alex as well. When we've all had difficulties, we've always been there for each other, and speaking obviously a lot behind the scenes, which people don't see. But that's why it is such a big family on here. Jimmy, good evening, you twat. I still haven't forgiven you. Anyway, how did you and Susan meet? Well, it was originally on a dating app. I mean, Susan actually lived in the same village as me. She manages a shop in the village, and we met through a dating app, as I suppose 90% of the world does these days. However, she binned me off 3 times before she agreed to meet me. But it wasn't through anything. She had bad experiences, and she's she was very nervous about it and things like that. So that's the reason. But when we did meet, we hit it off straight away. We just laughed the whole time. And 3 years down the line, we're still laughing the whole time now. So she's my rock. She's my she's my everything. So and it's very the relationship we've got is incredible, and nobody realizes, apart from maybe the guys that are on the Toon Review with me, what she does behind the scenes. She takes the piss a lot, because she's always sending animations of Billy and Alex and Jack, and she's always designing something. But that's what it is. It makes people feel better. It makes people laugh when they're down, and it's brilliant. We've got Peter saying, Billy, will you be planning to come to any home games in the future?
Depending on watch-alongs, basically. I mean, I love doing that, but I do want to come to home games. Yeah, I really miss it. I really miss the St James's Park on a Saturday afternoon. A few beers in the pub beforehand and into the ground. I love that. But at the moment, it's watch-alongs. I really enjoy doing them too. So we'll see.
Exactly. But hey, you never know. When we get a headquarters, Billy, you can travel up on the train and do them from the headquarters, and we'll get people in after the game, and that's again another long-term goal. Or we could just buy an executive box. Good evening, Mr. Gallant. Go and check Paul out. He's a great. He does give us shout outs. To be fair to Paul, and he does always share the channel, which we're very grateful for. And there's lots of Newcastle channels out there. So Paul does a one as well. So go and check Paul Gallant's channel out as well. Help him out. He's battling to try and get to 1,000, but that doesn't mean he gets away from me taking the piss out of him. So there you go. Clarky says, I've seen some channels do YouTube analytics videos. Is that something you would look at, and would people be interested? What do you mean by analytics videos, Clarky? Do you mean the channel's analytics, or just... I'm not sure what you mean by it. Let me know. Expand on that question a bit further in the chat, mate, if you would. Ian Fleming, thank you for your £5 super chat, and thank you for your continued support, buddy. Really kind. He says, would love to see you all go full-time, Paul. You all deserve it. Thank you very much, matey. It's a long-term goal. It's a dream I have of getting these guys up and running with just all one big company, to be honest. Spoon says, I used to work for Gresham Office Furniture in their metal fab department in their stock control, Billy. And yes, it was a boring job for the lads there. I mean, you're talking Japanese to me.
It is to me, to be fair. That's nothing what I do. But, some job is like warehouse work, factory work. It's all pretty boring, let's be honest.
Yeah. Julie J says she hasn't ordered her shirt yet. That's shocking. Did we shout out David Bells as a new member?
I think you did, yeah. I think you did.
Excuse me. I think Annie's in the house because Stu with his normal. Annie, are you okay? T. Felicis, holla, Paul. What was it? I'm not even going to answer that one, you bastard. Good evening, Sean. Hope you're well, buddy. Aaron says, yeah, I'm subscribed, Paul. I have been for about 2 years. Must be YouTube. Definitely, mate. Without a doubt, there's no problem. I'm seeing it all tonight. Some people do comment from time to time that they're struggling to get the comments through. But there you go. Andrew says, evening, fellas. Billy, without obviously giving your address away, what part of Coventry are you from? Because he's from Coventry as well.
Originally Radford, then I went to Stoke. I went to Stoke Park School, and now I've been in Holbrook for the last 30 years. Whole Bronx, as we call it.
Bronx? Oh, dear God.
Some parts of it pretty rough. You've been through it. You've seen. That was just my front garden, then.
Dear. Pilo Key says, I'm sure Sam Fender made a note of the TTR channel last night. He introduced his guitar teacher as the king of guitar, just like War Roy. Well, actually, if you can remember, I did meet Sam not too long. Well, was it last summer? I think it must have been about last summer. And it kind of, it was funny because we were on the same carriage, and I got a photo with him. And he said, I said, he looked at me and he went, you're that Toon Review fella. So I just looked at him and went, you're that Sam Fender fella. And then it just an absolute lovely guy. He sat and spoke to so many people. It just great. And I'm really pleased that the weekend went brilliantly for him because he deserved that. I'm sure we'll go from strength to strength now. Julie says, did you see the pictures of proper wedding? Both Joe Linton and Paqueta in attendance? Yes, they were both there. Of course, Paqueta was going to be there. No doubt about it. Ross says, thank you for the PM, Paul. Meant a lot to me. You're quite welcome, Ross. But like I said in the PM, don't bottle things up. If you need to share, talk to someone, okay? Don't bottle it all up. Even if it's people on, within this chat here, we're all contactable. Just don't bottle anything up. Castoria just posted 6-week delay with new kit delivery in order to restock the club store. I guess I'll expect mine by about February, Billy. I don't know why I keep trusting them online. If I'm openly honest, I mean, there was no way I was getting up to go and queue up at 7:30 in the morning outside the ground.
You got to be, 6 o'clock. You have to be there apparently to be kind of near the front. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, some people could have walked out to Sam Fender's concert, gone out for a few beers, and then went and queued, couldn't they? So that,
yeah.
But yeah,
exactly.
They know they're going to. It's a gold mine, Newcastle United for shirts, isn't it? Everybody.
It is. I think it's been a while though, Billy, since there's been I think 99% of the fan base absolutely loving the strip though. I mean, if you recall the last few years, it's been like, what the hell? I think Castoria have kind of, they've upped the game for this year's strip. There's no doubt about that.
I agree totally. But they had to, because, the quality of the last 2 years has been pretty poor. Last year wasn't too bad, but the one with the 4 on the front was horrific, I thought. Horrific.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a £5 super chat in from Rabia. First pints on me, Billy, if you come up for a home game. Thank you very much. And we've got a £20 super chat from Chris Lynch. No comment there, but thank you very much for your support, Chris. That is very, very much appreciated. Don't forget, guys, this is all on you this show tonight. You can ask us any questions you want, whether it be football or whether you just want to get to know me and Billy a little bit better. Just fire them into the chat. Unfortunately, as how we've got over nearly 750 watching, the chat is flying through. I won't be able to read everybody's, but look, I'll pick some questions out to read. Lee says, good evening all the way from South Africa. My personal thoughts on the supposed £75 million budget. I think it's way off the mark. I think we can push, but don't want to show our hands. Yeah, it's a load of crap, Billy. I don't pay any attention to people telling me how much the budget is, because it's a load of shite.
If you're sitting there playing poker, you don't tell everyone you've got 4 aces in your hand. You hide it. And there's no way we're telling people what we've got to spend, because if they know, the price goes up. So you get held to ransom. 675 million. Perhaps I'll be a bit more kinder to us. Maybe that Newcastle tax will get reduced a bit. Yeah.
One man and his Twatterdales. He was up for the shirt. Shame you have to pay for a Champions League logo. Shirt was pricey enough. Up there, one says you need to do watch-alongs for England. It will make them much easier to watch. Well, that's a good point, because we're always honest. And I mean, listen, Stato watching England, and it goes wrong. Stato going off on one about Southgate is as good as watching me going off on one about Steve Bruce, to be honest. Rabia says, the first strip I've bought in a decade. Myself got it yesterday morning, sent the son down, bought his for his effort. Nice one. Gateshead Gabs also got their shirt yesterday. Tom Lynch says he's not asked about England, but we'll watch along because I'm craving them. Yeah, it seems like an age, and it's only a few weeks since we played. Crazy. It seems a long time since I did a bloody watch along, because I was due to do the Chelsea one, but of course that didn't go to plan. And it just seems like ages, but never mind.
Which was the last one you did? Which one? I can't even think. Which was the last one you would have done? After the weekend before then, Leeds, was it?
It was Leeds, yeah. Leeds, yeah. Yeah, which seems an absolute lifetime away, but isn't. Well, it's a few weeks, isn't it? Paul Gallant is in the house. Good evening, Paul. The logo is smart on the new shirt, says Tom. Fair enough. I mean, everyone's going to have their opinions. Just mine on the logo. I think if it had just the word, I think it would have been nicer. Anthony says, love the show. Keep up the great work. Thanks, buddy. Peter says, what's your favourite goals from this season? I think Miggy from the Fulham game. Now, obviously, I didn't do the season review, Billy, so I don't know whether you spoke about... I watched a bit of it. I don't know whether you spoke about the best goals, but...
no, we didn't.
I mean, obviously, there's a few of Miggy's, isn't there? I mean, the one at Spurs, the one at Fulham. He scored a couple of crackers, yeah. I mean, to me... I know it was a simple tap in for Murphy, but that goal at Goodison Park, Billy, when Isak just danced his way through, that was very special. We've scored some very good goals this season, haven't we?
I would have said the one against Fulham until that Murphy one. And of course, I could have done what Murphy did, just tap into an empty net. But that run of Isak's was unbelievable. It was special.
Yeah.
Something you don't see every day, something you don't see every year. It's a once in a decade occasion. That it was just fantastic. Our player doing it made it all the more special for me. Brilliant goal.
Yeah, indeed. Rachel says, I'm loving the new shirt. I would even consider buying before it's half price at the end of the season. Jordy Howeyman says, traveling to away games in the 80s, Moordale Sarni squad, the new shirt has brought back special memories. I've actually, heard a lot of people say that the shirt has brought back memories from the 80s and really special ones from, let's be honest, we weren't great in the 80s either, were we?
Not particularly. We had our moments, We had
a couple of promotions, but then it was sort of straight back down again, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a couple of seasons when we had, one season I can remember with Beardsley, Waddle, and Gazza just started to come through. Then where we did okay. Then we sold Waddle, didn't we, to Spurs? And he became the best player in England for a little bit. Chris Waddle after that, he was fantastic at Spurs, and you just think, if we'd kept hold of him, could that have been us? But I guess that was the way it was back then, wasn't it? We just sell out players all the time.
Absolutely. Phil's wondering if the get-together will be in the Northeast. Yes, it will. But we'll give people plenty time or plenty notice on that one. David says, has Howe gone too far too quickly and now our expectations are going to fly?
I guess time will tell. I guess time will tell on that one.
Yeah, we obviously we don't know. But listen, I think if anyone can just adjust to the pressure, it's Eddie Howe. The man just seems, like the pressure doesn't get to him. He's got a lot of good staff around him that makes sure that it doesn't build up all the pressure by himself. Let's be honest. I think he's got a lot of leeway. I think Eddie Howe now because of what he's done this season. I think if we don't perform brilliantly early doors, I don't think the pressure's going to be on him too quickly. Don't get me wrong. I think because of PIF wants success. If things don't go well over the course of a season, then maybe they'll change. But listen, Eddie Howe's going to be a legend here. I'm pretty sure of that, and nothing is swaying my opinion on that at all. Rich says, I'm glad to see the back of the Fun 88 logo. I love the new kit. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. Angelica says, evening everyone. I'm excited. My ma just went to the NUFC store and got me shirt. I should get it on Tuesday. Nice one. Seeing McAllister at Liverpool ground, I can't wait to see who we get. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just buzzing. I think the window opens this week, doesn't it?
Wednesday,
yeah. So maybe we'll be doing a show on Wednesday saying we put a bid in for someone because I think we're going to do our business reasonably quickly in the summer. Isn't James Maddison a Spurs fan? He's openly said it.
No,
I've never once heard James Maddison say he's a Tottenham fan. He grew up a Coventry fan. He still is, isn't he?
Yeah. Played for Coventry. Obviously went to school in Coventry. His parents still live in Coventry. His parents were at the playoff final. Yeah. Coventry City fan.
Yeah. We could structure a deal based on success in competitions as well as a fat wage, which is more likely to get paid than if he went to Spurs, as they're going nowhere slowly when they lose Kane. Yeah, exactly. Having Sam Fender at St. James's Park was amazing for us. I think that I was there last night. It was amazing. The atmosphere for the love of the club was incredible. Yeah, it seemed to be. What happened with the watch along last night was all set up ready for it. Jack's dad took ill. I haven't heard from him today, but obviously we send him our best. So he had to go and see his dad, and unfortunately, Billy was out with his son. I was out with the kids. We went to the beach with the dogs, and I fell in the sea, which incredibly, Susan managed to catch on camera. So no doubt at one stage on one of the shows, I will play me falling into the sea. It just seems, when you're in the water, Billy, and you're paddling, right? And the tide's quite powerful, pushing when it comes in and then it goes out, your feet sort of dig into the sand.
Yeah.
Especially your heels.
Yeah.
And I went to turn as the water was going back, not seeing this huge wave coming the other way. I sort of pushed me and I just lost my balance, and in I went. But it was lovely and warm. I dried off very quickly. But it was just one of them things that Susan happened to be filming again. Would you believe it? Who has the most potential in our first team squad or the highest ceiling? Oh, interesting.
That's a good question. Do you know what I'm going to say? Sven Botman.
Yeah, good shout.
He has the potential to be the best centre half in the world. Absolutely no doubt about it.
Yeah. I'd also say Elliot Anderson. I still think he's got a lot of potential to fulfill. So let's just hope that he does. I think Eddie will give him his chance. I think he reiterated again at the end of the season that he wasn't going out on loan. It was part of his plans. So, Pete, this is exciting days ahead for all Toon Army fans in the coming days, if even a lot of what we're hearing is even remotely true. And I'm finished all of my work ahead of tomorrow so I can enjoy the show. There you go. Cheers, Peter. I Like Coffee says, question for Paul and Billy. Do you think the new Seller shirt is among the top 10 best ones we've had so far?
Stripes are pretty generic, aren't they?
Listen, it's hard when you got black and white stripes. It's very difficult to redesign them, especially every season. Back in the 80s, we had that strip for quite a number of years. But nowadays, you get strips at the start of the season, then they'll bring out a special edition halfway through the season. They'll bring another one out, a training top or something like that. So, it's very, very difficult to rearrange black and white stripes in a way that looks good each season. But this season, I think is for me, it's one of the best we've had for a good number of years, Billy.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's the best kit we've had since Adidas. Absolutely.
Yeah. Angelica says, Paul, the fundraiser the other night, I watched it later. I wanted to tell you how much the channel helped me after my husband died. You all kept me sane from the day he died. Thank you. Very kind, Angelica. I know you went through a very difficult time, but you know what? You were always here. You were always in the chat. And I think that it obviously made us see that you were okay, which was important as well. And obviously that you were keeping your head up and battling through. And I'm sure he'd be looking down really proud of you for getting through what you have, because you've been through a nightmare. But I'm sure he'd be looking down now, hoping you can live the rest of your life very, very happily. And if that's part of being part of this channel, then I'm really happy about that. Alan D says, I used to work on CNC machines. Can confirm really boring programs, set up in a way, let someone else mess it up, go back and fix it.
That sounds about right, Alan. That sounds exactly what I do.
You have no many. You don't realize how many times you get messages from Billy Trey throughout the day thinking, I thought you were at work. Yeah. Graham says, Billy, what made you decide to be a Newcastle fan?
I'm afraid I didn't have any choice no matter. It was bred into me. My father was a Newcastle United fan, man and boy. And therefore, I had no choice, really.
Yeah, there you go. When you like that, you have no choice. You just do it. New member, Patient. Welcome to Members Club, Patient. Thank you for your support of the channel. Really do appreciate that. Clarky says he met his last while out dogging. That's terrible. That's just rotten. I could have a few stories on that when me and Susan have got lost. But we'll not go into that. Geordie Howeman says, just like the Toon, this channel is also in the building process. Both will grow in tandem. TTR, thank you, buddy. Susan eventually swiped right. Well, it wasn't Tinder, actually. So there you go. John says, even though what a big difference in our fans and Man City fans. No passion during the match. And after the game, hardly a flag to be seen. I did see a couple of clips of Man City fans, at the end of the game. Some were just standing going like this. I mean, there was some jumping around, which obviously it meant a lot to them, but it was strange. But then again, we've seen that a million times, haven't we, with City?
Yeah, but there's plenty of old fans there that would have been there when they were bad for the bad times. I've got a lot of respect for that. The real Man City fans, not the one that jumped on the bandwagon in 2007-8. They were 30,000 a year in a game
in League One,
in the third tier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing support. They've really got. Of course, once the money came in, they've jumped on a few. They've got a few in, but That'll happen to us as well. That's
of course, we've already seen it happening to us, really, haven't we? When you see some people making comments on social media, you think, how long have you been a fan of this football club? Clearly not very long. Ranny Granny says, Paul, I would bin you off as well. Thanks, as usual. Paul Gallant says, get her married. Well, we are engaged, but, it costs a lot of money. Let's have a look. Ian says, question for Paul. When are you and Susan getting married? And am I invited if I promise to behave? Well, that's interesting. Mr. Spoon's in the same sentence as if I promise to behave. All I'll say, mate, is as soon as possible. As soon as we possibly can, we will. I know it's very important to Susan, and of course important to me as well. So it will happen soon. It's just Bob says, wait, my message was just removed. Well, if it was removed, I haven't seen any. I'm not sure why. Josh T, thank you for your $2 super chat. He says, any plans on attending preseason matches in the US? We're not even going to talk about that. Mark says, love the club to have a family fun day. Wonder when Salah will commence work on the land opposite. Well, I mean, there you go.
As soon as possible, I imagine.
Yeah,
exactly. I think they want it set up for the beginning of the season, I think.
Yeah, I do as well. But it's going to be tough, though, isn't it? Because you know how slow councils are, except with planning permissions. But I do think they'll have already submitted some sort of plans that they'll have had to. As soon as they bought the land back, I would assume they would have already had architects and everything discussing it. Up the A1 says, it's Mrs. Up the A1 here. Met Paul, Alex, and Danielle. So would love to meet you, Billy, especially all for a few bevies and chatters. Mods would be excellent. Well, keep your eyes and ears peeled. Geordie Boy says, any new merch ideas in the pipeline, Paul? Yes. Susan is always working on merchandise. But we are going to totally revamp the website over the summer. We're going to try and make it a lot easier. Tom's going to do a lot of Newcastle United history blogs on there. I think we want to make it a bit more user-friendly, if I'm honest, because it's not great. It's easy to navigate, but it's not great. So what I'm trying to do is find somebody who is basically good at building websites. Excuse me. And once I find that person, we will start redesigning the website and getting the new merch up for sale. Clarky says, yeah, channel analytics like comments, hours watched, etc. Just a thought. Well, we do release our monthly ones, Clarky, which have been absolutely through the roof the last 2 months. Yeah. Predator says, there you go, Paul. I just subbed to your channel, matey. Thanks very much. Good stuff. June's a bit financially stifling this month, just like the heat. My new, by the way, those that don't know, I do have a new dog. She's a 2-year-old black Labrador who is going to become my assistant's dog. So she'll tell me if my bloods are low or high, and basically calm me down if my tremors get too bad with the Parkinson's. She is currently lying down to my left-hand side with the fan on her. So I am sweltering here, and the dog has the fan on the floor, blowing nice, cool air on her, while I'm sweating like a pig in this seat right now. In fact, I'm probably not going to be able to get out of it because I feel like I'm already stuck in it. So, yeah. Stu says, my grief counsellor has just died. He was so good, I don't even care. That is a Gary Delaney joke, Stu, and that is terrible. Stephen says, hi, Paul and Billy. Hope you're well. What do you think about the fan zone, and will it be up and running for the start of the season?
I think that'll be the aim. We just alluded to that, haven't we? So, yeah, I think that'll be the aim. I think absolutely that'll be the aim. Yeah.
Peter says, Paul, how did you, Billy, and Alex get together to start with? Well, I've known Billy for quite some time now. Bloody hell, I can't even. It's quite a while, Billy.
I started watching a program that you used to have on a Monday nights. 21, 1921,
Yes.
1921, 2021. It wasn't that long ago. 1921. Christ, it seems like it was.
Yeah.
and commented on that. And then, a certain person from that channel asked me to do stuff on his channel, which I then did. And we used to do a bit of conglomeration between the two channels.
Yeah,
like preferred it over here to over there, to be honest. And that's why I came to the Toon Review.
As soon as Billy became available for transfer, we swooped. And we've never looked back. He's been an absolute credit to this channel, but not just on camera, but off it as well. As I said at the start, he's become a best mate for life, and I'm proud of that. As for Alex, well, he started following, I think, the fan forums when me and Dave Harrison used to do them, and he made some brilliant points about statistics on that, and then suddenly, bing, lights going off in the old head thing, and we don't have a statistician on this show, and he seems to thrive on that. And again, signed him up, never look back. And he just absolutely loves what he does as well. So it's great. Jack, I saw Jack on his own channel, obviously, and then he came on a few fan forums, and I thought he'd be great to help along if, obviously I'm not well, and Billy, didn't have his mojo, but he has his mojo now. And, we've got loads of, we've got hosts who can take a show at any time, which is definitely what you want. Gary says, thanks for all the TTR do. Billy and his backup on Twitter. Question, what are your views on supporters not liking the impact of supporters not being from Newcastle? Tad harsh. Gary, thanks for your £10 super chat. Well, I'll give you my answer, and then Billy can answer. I think it's sort of tosh, to be quite honest. If you are a Newcastle supporter, you're a Newcastle supporter. Like Billy, he lives in Coventry, but he was brought up on Newcastle United through his family. That can happen to a lot of people who have had to move away because of jobs, etc., and have stayed a Newcastle United fan. They've had a family, and Newcastle United has been installed in them, like it was with Billy. So for me, it's an absolute load of bollocks. All right. If you're a Newcastle fan, yes, there's, like Billy said earlier on in the show, there's going to be people who will jump on the bandwagon. Now we've got the takeover. Now we're successful or reasonably moving into a successful stage of the existence. You're going to get the plastic fans, but I think it's tosh. Billy?
I'll be honest, I've never ever in my 50 odd years of supporting Newcastle United had derogatory comments about my accent or anything like that. But when I do see it on Twitter, it's usually a similar kind of person that would be saying that kind of thing. Let's just say they're a similar kind of person. I'm not going to go any more than that, but
yeah, they're not even fans, to be honest.
Most of them go to the game. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they live in cupboards under the stairs, guys. Tony Douglas, thank you for becoming a new member. Welcome to Members Club, my friend, and thank you for your continued support of the channel. Garris's question for Paul: who said the magical 3 words first? There's a question. I'll say Susan said it first. I may be wrong, but look, I think we said it pretty much
at the same time.
It was around about the same time, I think. Yeah, but does it matter if we both feel the same? It doesn't matter. Roger ordered his shirt yesterday, hoping to get it by the start of the season. Yeah, I'm hoping as well. Jack is improving with his Toon TV, much more confidence on articulation, good for the Toon Review. Yeah, I mean, he's got his own channel to concentrate on as well. But Luke P.I. just says, Paul. Okay. Thanks, Luke. Ashley 80 says the shirt is good, but I like the Adidas shirt back in the day much more. Yeah, I mean, look, they're not going to be better than that, are they? They just won't. Sean says, Paul, you need the Champions League badge on it. They do not do it online. Yeah, but like Billy said, I'd rather wait until the Champions League starts to see if we're going to have a Champions League shirt, because I think we might. A lot of the teams in the Premier League do that. David says, how do the papers know how much the budget is? It's crap. Exactly. They don't know, basically. They really don't. Right, I'm going to just see if we can see any questions. Oh, there you go. All right, lads. Paul, give us a quick rundown on your previous life as an ice hockey player. I've heard snippets over the last year or so, but I'm interested to hear more. No worries if it's off topic. Well, there isn't any topic tonight, guys. You set the topic. There's another question there about how I met Stato and Billy. We've just answered that one. My ice hockey career, Played at Durham all the way through till it closed. Represented Great Britain at international level. Moved to Whitley Bay and finished my career there when I broke my jaw. That's the rundown of it. I had a very badly broken jaw, in which I've ended up having to have 2 steel plates onto my skull, and then 2 rods which act as my cheekbone, and then 2 plates in the bottom of my chin here. I'm a joy to go through the airport with, guys. I'm an absolute joy. As soon as those machines sense me approaching, they go ballistic. But what's worse is when it happens in countries that don't speak English, and you see people pulling on blue gloves and things like that. Then you start to panic. Not that it's ever actually happened to me, but Ian Fleming, thank you for another £5 super chat. He says, how long does it take to train an assistance dog, Paul? Does it start when they're a pup or a bit older? You can get them from a puppy, or you can get them from a couple of years. She's just turned 2 years old, Myla. So she's actually starting her training on Tuesday morning, which I'm looking forward to doing. She's very intelligent. She's bonded to me straight away. I have her off the lead now. She doesn't leave my side. As I say, we had her at the beach last night, and she was just a dream. She just didn't wander off. When she did go to sort of chase other dogs, as soon as I said no, she just came back and sat by my side. I went in. She wouldn't go in the sea by herself. I went in first. She followed me in and literally didn't leave my side in the water either. So she got a bit of a panic on when I fell in, of course, but she's incredible. She'll never take, obviously, the heartbreak of losing Elsie, and I think all dog owners will know that. They don't replace that dog. They'll never be able to replace the dog you've had previous. But if you're a dog person, having a dog in your life is very special, and especially when she's going to be an assistance dog for me. It's incredible what these animals can do. But she just, she's lying here, good as gold, but she's got the fan. And that's the problem I've got right now. Right, let's have a look for some more questions. If you've got any questions, guys, fire them into the chat. Baz Down Under says, congratulations to Alex and Billy for the transfer shows. They've been excellent. Yeah, they have. Absolutely superb. Really good. And there's no other channel does it like we do, to be honest, for transfer shows, and like we said, some of these players that we feature on the transfer shows, we say it every time, they may not end up signing, but what it does is it gives us a lot of excitement. We've never been in a situation like this for a very long time as Newcastle fans, and to look at players that we never dreamed of signing a few years ago, it's special, Billy.
Well, yeah, just imagine 3 years ago trying to do this kind of thing. Every show would have been about Hamza Chowdhury, wouldn't it?
Oh, no. God. I mean, that was every bloody window as well.
Very little transfer talk. And when there was, we knew it wasn't going to happen because, unfortunately, clubs, when they sell players, want something called money. And that's where Mike Ashley tended not to want to get part of that, did he? Just wanted to reel it in from his tacky Sports Direct adverts on a stadium. Good riddance to him.
Absolutely. Lawrence's fixtures out on Thursday as well. Who do people want first? Ooh.
Luton at home. Well, let's be top of the table after one game.
I know, but Billy, let's just go for Man City at home first because we know they're, historically slow starters. So let's listen. Anybody, I'm just looking forward to the new season. It's going to be an incredible season. But there you go. Roadblock, thank you very much for your £2 super chat. Any word on the second shirt, third shirt, back up, etc.? There's been little soundings, but again, we'll see. I don't think it'll be too long before we see the second shirt, the away tops, to be honest. Irani Granny says, we need to see Paul in the sea. He sounds salty about it. Billy, you've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You've seen it. There you go. Even Rachel saying Paul falling in the sea is a sight to behold.
To be honest, the dog was fantastic because it just sort of stared at you, stood next to you.
She did. She just stared at me. Yep. But I'm sure if I was in any sort of trouble, she would have come to the rescue. But I don't want to talk about it. I nearly lost my life again. Roadblock says, thank you for your £5 super chat. It's happened again. Posted a super chat about 30 minutes ago and not read out. Starting to think it's something I said. I did read it out. I just read it out. The thing is, you need to understand how it works on here. If it's under £5, right? I don't think I've ever said this before, but if it is under £5, it doesn't go to the top. I think it's £5 and over that go to the top of the list. So I have to wait until I've gone down to that part of the chat where I can actually see it. But anything £5 and over, or £4.99, I think it is, and over, goes straight to the top. I don't know why that is. Again, that's just something between YouTube and StreamYard that we can't do anything about. But I didn't miss it. I have read it out. So I bet you feel, well, I don't know how you feel now, Roadblock, but I did. I think it was about 5 minutes ago, didn't I?
I can't remember. I'm looking now for it.
I'll tell you what he said. Any word on the second shirt, third shirt, backup shirt, etc. Literally.
Yeah.
Probably 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's just get to it. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. But there you go. It hasn't happened again. I read it out. But you know, we'll not make much of it. Haha, says Jim, sorry, but I would love to see you fall in the sea. Honestly, I mean, people just love to see me like they're just terrible. So look, any more questions for us? There you go. Billy, do you think Maxi will be sold?
Yes, I do.
And I do as well. And the day that he does leave the club, we will have a wake for Alex. I'm sure that Alex will turn up for that show in a black suit and be very, very upset about it. But that is for the future. Gary Wishart, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, Paul, did the sea lick your face? No, but the dog did. So I just must have one of them lickable faces, Billy. You know what I mean? It's Ian A says, are the shirt sizes okay this year? I don't know. I haven't had mine yet. I haven't actually. Nobody's really commented about the fitting of the shirts this year. So if there's nothing being said about them, then I presume that can only be a good thing. If nothing's being said,
I think I've seen it the same as last year. You got to go one up.
You got to go one up. All right. Great. That's bad news for me and you then, Billy. But there you go. Did you see the Seller Light Show launch of the kit on their YouTube channel? Yes, it was brilliant. It's nice that they're getting involved, actually. It really is. Sean says, I would like to thank you guys. I lost my son as a stillborn last July. God almighty, Sean. And this channel has kept me going. Thank you all at the Toon Review. Bloody hell, mate. I know what that's like. But
me too. Yeah, me too.
Heart goes out to you, matey. It's hard, but time is definitely a healer in their circumstances, mate. Michael Marsden, thank you for your £20 super chat, buddy. Very kind. I believe Michael's ordered a new shirt as well. He sent me a text over the weekend, and he's very well. Shall we say he's not enjoying the fact that there's no football on at the minute. I think all Newcastle fans are just itching for the new season. I think it'll start building up again when the fixtures come out. I know that's daft because it's only June, but I generally think that. And of course, the transfer window. Lisa's great to hear you hit 20k. Well done, lads, and everyone. Thank you very much. JB says, I thought the stadium in Istanbul was awful for atmosphere. I did as well, actually. I didn't feel that atmosphere. It's at Wembley next year, Billy. So, you know, we might get a trip to Wembley again.
Who knows? You never know. Stranger things have happened.
They have indeed. Interesting question from Annie. Do you like crumpets?
Singular and in plural, yes.
You know what? You just can't ask a serious question to that man. Yes is the answer to that. Quickly moving on. Hi, lads. What do you think about the fan zone the club have planned? I think it's a brilliant idea because it gives a lot of people who can't get tickets an opportunity to come and experience, you know, the match day. You know, I know they can't get into the ground, but being in a fan zone is probably the next best thing, isn't it?
You'd think so, unless they do it like Wembley, and you've got to have a ticket to get in the fan zone, which I thought was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. I literally went in the fan zone, had a burger, and left the fan zone. Just crazy. Gary says about the website, quality over speed is definitely the way to go. Yeah, well, like I say, if anyone does know how to build a website and can do it for the Toon Review, get in touch with me, please. I am looking for a website designer to make it a very, very special website to go with a very special channel. Gary Clark, thank you for your $20 super chat. Very kind, my friend. No comment there, but thank you very much for your donation. That is incredibly kind, mate. The big right hand says, Paul, I have an idea. TTR kettles that scream Susan when boiled. I don't understand that. Am I missing something there? Oh. Irani Granny says, I always thought Paul looked a bit like Seabiscuit. God, honestly, can you ever say anything nice to me?
Hey, compared you to a horse, ain't a bad thing in some ways, is it?
Well, ask Susan, not me. I can't believe I went there. James's question for Billy and Paul, would you rather have a home match at the start of the season or the end? Ooh, good point, because the last two seasons we've had away games last game of the season, haven't we? I don't know, because you're looking at a situation where if we've got an opportunity to win something, last game of the season at home would be incredible. I remember when we won the championship, when Villa got an equaliser against Brighton, and was it Villa? It was Villa, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jack Grealish, wasn't it?
Grealish, yeah, and we won the league. That was incredible, absolutely incredible. And that was the championship. Now you thinking of something like winning the Premier League or something like that, but I don't know. I mean, we don't have a say in it, really, do we? So we just have to wait and see. Geordie Metal, thank you for your £20 super chat, and thank you very much for your continued donations, matey. Very, very kind to the channel. And we really do appreciate it. Got my shirt and got a size bigger. Just fits. Have to tell the missus to wash it carefully. Oh, no. Not again.
Inside out. Inside out's the way to go. Cold wash.
Well, yeah, but let me just say, right, the pro shirts, right, the pro ones that come out that the players actually wear, I know they're a little bit more expensive, but the fitting is so much nicer. Because it's what the players wear, so they've got the small holes all the way in them. The very breathable, shall we say? They don't shrink in the wash. They're really good. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're on the more portly side of life, then wait till the pro shirts come out, and you will get a good fitting. That's the best advice I can give tonight, Billy.
Sounds pretty sound to me.
Dave says Billy is great, and channel wouldn't be the same without Billy. All work great together on the channel. Best Toon channel out there. Thanks, Dave. Of course, Billy's a massive part of the channel. And to pick him on a free transfer, just caught him at the right time. Sean says, question just woke me up. Not from Newcastle, supported from 40 years. I'm not sure what
it's been a trial at times, Sean, hasn't it? Let's be honest. But every dog has his day, and we're having ours now, I think.
Indeed. Ian says Billy's knowledge of NUFC is second to none. He's a proper fan, and anyone says that who says it, it's a cobbler. That's a knobber.
Mr. Spoons.
Yes. I got stuck in the sentence there. I couldn't stop. Mary says, my brother moved away from the country, still supports the Mags. Exactly. It's a load of bollocks, man. The only people that will say that are trolls. Okay, simple as that. Not proper Newcastle fans. Dave says, I'm from Ireland and I've followed Newcastle 30 years. Have nephews who converted to Newcastle and travel over to games with me. All die-hard fans and certainly as passionate as any fans out there. Well, look at Man United fans. They're all from London. Still support the club. It's just one of them things. Another super chat coming from Keith Truscott, £5 super chat. Thank you very much, Keith. Been a member of your channel for a year or two now. Love all your hard work and effort you put in constantly. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you. Again, Billy, not a lot of fans or viewers or subscribers, they don't know the hard work that goes in behind the scenes, because there is a lot goes in behind the scenes to put out these, put out the videos, put out the live shows and things like that. And all the equipment that's necessary to do it. Yes, you can do it on your phone and stuff like that, but we all used to use our phones, but then you realize that if you want to keep, you want to get the quality out there, and you have to expand, and that's why super chats, etc., and memberships are so vital to a channel like ours, because it helps us with getting equipment for for the likes of, Billy. I sent the camera down to him instead of having to use his phone. Alex has got a MacBook and stuff like that because his was dying. So we all need to change, and that's what your help is for. And it's incredible. The support we get on the channel is incredible. Your super chats and your memberships are just incredible. And I can't put into words how appreciative we are of every single one of you, because I know times are tough, but you still want to support us, and that you'll forever be in my gratitude. I'm telling you, you have made this channel what it is. We can bring the shows to you, but it's like I said the other day, you guys make this channel by keep coming back and watching and taking part and donating and being members and things like that. And we try and give back by, obviously, the prizes and stuff like that and things like that. So we try and work it two ways. But you're just incredible. You really are. Let's have a look, see if there's any more questions coming in. Paul M says, love the content. Keep up the good work. Who would you like to see as our seller signing? Oh, I think I meant Stella signing, but
it's got to be Shabazz for me, I think.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he's just incredible. I mean, such a young kid to have such a sensible head on his shoulders, being captain of his international side and things like that. And let's be honest, I think him and a few others have took Hungary to the next level, haven't they? They've come from nowhere and are a bloody good international side now. So, yeah, I'd say Shabazz as well. Madison not too far behind. Madison's one of my favorite players for a long time. So, yeah. Mrs. Toon Review says there's a good reading on Google about Paul's ice hockey days. If you Google Paul, there is. It goes through the whole. It was a long time ago that was written, but it was after I'd finished playing. So it is still on there. She says she found it while stalking me. Yes, just for everybody, Susan did actually stalk me for quite some time without me knowing. She even sent her mother into Tesco to follow me around Tesco to see what kind of food I liked and things like that, and whether I was with anyone and stuff like that. It was bizarre. And I just picture Susan sitting upstairs in a shop, and Billy, when you get these detectives trying to solve cases and they've got like red string going from here to there. And I used to think she had one of them boards up on her wall. He arrived at Tesco at 12:23. He bought a meal deal. He left at 12:32. He came back again at 1 p.m. Just sort of keeping track of me like that. So I had no idea this was going on until obviously I'd started seeing her. She didn't tell me straight away, obviously, because, well, who would admit to something like that? But there you go. Paul, is true Adidas made NUFC kits in Newcastle in the mid-90s. It was the mid-90s, wasn't it? Well, it was through the
596 was the first one, I think. It was 86 before that. So yeah, 95, 96, all the way through till 2010-11, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Angelica's question, is it hot in the northeast? It's been boiling all day here in Somerset. Lovely place, Somerset. Really lovely part of the country. Yes, it's boiling hot. But like I say, I'm fighting through the sweat now because Mila's got the fan on the floor. And she's just comfortable in nice cool air. Yes, you are. I know.
Yeah, see if that works. Is that working for you?
Not really, Billy, no. But it just makes me a bit tad jealous there, matey. I may have to.
Counts.
Yeah, well, if Mila's going to be in here with us, I mean, if she's going to be my assistant dog, she's going to be with me all the time. So I'm going to have. I know. Yes, you pinching me fan. So I'm going to have to get another fan for the desk if that one's going to be on the floor. Stu says, look after the dog, Paul. She will definitely look after you. Exactly. Do you have any plans to get a dog in the future, Billy? I know you were very close to your other one that's sadly no longer here, but I mean, once you maybe finish work, retire, Would you get another dog?
Yeah, probably then, yeah. But that's another 15, 16 years away, yeah. So until then, probably not. But who knows? You never know what situation you're going to be in. But
Exactly.
I'd love one, to be honest. You know, they are fantastic. But as I say, my dog died, it's kind of 18 months ago now. And he was used to be on his own. He didn't like me going to work, but he dealt with it. Always happy to see me come back, but yeah, it's a bit.
I mean, those people that say, leave dogs during the day. The vet told me, I remember a few years back, the vet said, if you get a dog and they get used to when you're not in the house, it's not a bad thing. But I mean, my daughter Phoebe, she wants to start doing some dog walking for people, and I think that's amazing. We know Phoebe suffers with terrible mental health and anxiety. But to do that, and she's sort of asking, do you get paid for it? And I'm saying, there's pensioners who can't walk the dogs. They'll hire some dog walkers and stuff. And I thought it was really good of her. Louis, good evening. Haven't seen you for a while, matey. If I ever give you some discounted tickets for you and the family to my wrestling show, would you go? Absolutely, mate. Yeah, I think Ben, my son in particular, would love it. Definitely, mate. Definitely. Andy says, Paul and Billy, what was your first Newcastle game? Well, mine was the first one I can remember as a kid was Brighton at home when Peter Beardsley made that incredible tackle, spun round and then just chipped the goalkeeper. I was in the Gallagher end and I think I was quite far back, but by the time all the celebrations had finished, I found myself at the front. Which normally happened in the Gallagher end. And then all the parents used to come and get the kids after the game because they knew where they'd be. Everybody looked after you. There wasn't any problem with that. You just used to get thrown to the front and that was it. I remember that. Billy, how about you?
Famous game, 1974 Cup Final was my first.
Wow.
3 Newcastle 0.
Yeah.
Famous, I got a slap round the ear roll for saying how much I like the Liverpool number 7, which of course was Kevin Keegan. And then never failed to tell my old man about how much I loved Kevin Keegan all along, and he was not on his side when he saw him first, and then he became a manager. I used to say to him, "Remember when you give me a slap on the ear for saying I liked him?" Yeah, was his answer to that. So,
wow. Luke says, Billy, how long have you been off the snouts? Because you're hammering the pipe of peace like Paul McCartney. Well, look, we know Billy likes his vape, but how long have you been off the cigarettes, Billy?
About 13 years, strangely enough.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible.
I just can't get off these now. That's the worst thing of it.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody. Look, I mean, even Schofield was vaping the other day.
That's it. I packed in. Now.
Yes. Roblox come back with a £2 super chat saying, ignore the previous super chat. Oh dear. Ian A says he's never seen a dog laugh. Well, they do sometimes, when they show the teeth in a nice way, when they sort of show the bottom teeth. Obviously, if they show all the teeth, that's the way. Madman, I think, is a bit of but I'm going to... Billy, do you want to answer that?
I don't know. I ain't seen it. What did he say? He gets a bit camera shy when there's lots of people watching.
There you go. There's your answer. Kevin says, do you think the current ride and next few seasons are going to be more exciting than when we eventually get there and start winning everything? I just think it'll grow and grow, mate. I really do. Susan just sent me a message saying we're going to get Schofield digs now. Listen, we don't have to because Billy's been moonlighting on various other channels about that, so we don't have to talk about it on this one. So there you go. Let's have a look. Any more questions? Is anybody going to the Hoppings next week? Actually, it's probably the best weather that the Hoppings is ever going to have. Because normally when the Hoppings turns up, it actually pees down for the week. So this week it's got to be it's going to be like the Mediterranean, Billy, isn't it? It's going to be
all accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, all accounts, the Hoppings and the fair there. It'd be great, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Spewing up in the heat. Great.
Indeed. Right, we'll stay on for another 10 minutes or so, guys. So if you've got some questions, fire them into the chat. Jason says, I'm waiting for the first transfer show after ASM is sold and Stato trying to sneak him in. Well, we're going to sign him again. Yeah. Oh, dear me. How? Right, let's look for some more questions. Bear with me. Does Billy like muffins? Says, chippers, I might have known. Yeah.
I'm partial to a good muffin, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you might be. I'd love to see Kevin Keegan on the Toon Review. I would love to see Kevin Keegan on the Toon Review, Bob. We do have somebody that actually knows Kevin and his family, so I'm trying. I'm trying to get a lot of big names on, to be honest. But we'll see. Irani Granny says, here's an idea. Get married at St. James's Park and invite the Toon Review viewers. Wow. That would be good. I'd love to get married there, actually. I know Susan
Trumps.
She has, yes. I know Susan doesn't want to get married in a church, so why not the cathedral? Exactly. I mean, it would be incredible. Hang on a minute. Do you want to go watch? Do I want to? It's supposed to be secret to Alex asked everyone. Oh, do you want to go watch Sticky Vicky channel? What the hell is Susan talking about? Anyway. It's kind of thrown me that because I've got no idea what she's talking about. Who's Sticky Vicky, Billy?
Sticky Vicky is a famous entertainer, shall we say, in Benidorm, and her trick is to pull various objects of ridiculous sizes from a certain part of her body.
Oh,
I think she's too old for it now. I think she's retired and she's just handed the reins over to her daughter, Clammy Pammy.
Oh my God. Susan says, oh my God, he read it out. Well, of course I read it out. You're texting me. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, we do have a £10 super chat from Roblox. Thank you again, mate. Now that you've explained the super chats, I'll stop harassing you. Sorry. Last season, I said top 4 from the start. Going to say the same again. And 2 trips to Wembley. Love the way the channel's grown. Thank you very much, matey. And I know you've been a big part of it. So on a serious note, matey, thank you very, very much. Gary Clark, thank you for another $20. That is very kind, buddy. Really appreciate that. Right, let's get a couple more questions before we finish up. Dynamics Details says, this channel keeps me from feeling so lonely in the evenings. I never miss a show since subscribing a year ago and adds to my love of NUFC so much. Thank you very much, mate. That is very kind. Right, let's have a look. I don't want to scroll too fast, Billy, because I know what StreamYard's like. It sort of disappears. Clarky says, Mrs. Toon Review was probably on security. That's why she followed Paul. No, it wasn't. She sent her mother. So stalking is legal. Well, it is for Susan, yeah. Ab says, sounds like Paul spent all day in Tesco's. Well, once I knew Susan was interested, I spent a lot of time in Tesco's. And every absolutely. Spoon says, talking to Chippers, stalking. Where is Sophia tonight? Well, I know she's in London until after the summer, I think, working down there. So probably busy at present. Right, come on. There's got to be a good question here. Let's have a look. That Victoria Stilwell is pretty good on It's Me or the Dog. Oh, there's a lot of people on there, to be honest. Sticky Vicky is here, Billy. I always watch your show. Will you come watch mine? That's maybe what Susan was talking about, because that. I don't know. Interesting. $4.99 super chat from 12th Man Toon. Good evening, everyone. Can't wait to pick up the new Toon top. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to getting mine just before, probably for Christmas now. Now that Castori have said there's going to be a bloody delay. Oh, God, honestly. Luke says, give me your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and bodily functions on the young Torino centre-half, Per Shoes. Now, I think Alex... Yeah, I know he's not a daft name because I know Alex has covered him in a transfer show.
Definitely. He's supposedly the left-handed centre-back version of Sven Botman, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
So if you have two centre-backs growing up together, same age, same nationality, same quality, yeah, it sounds good to me.
Definitely. Kevin Greener, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, any rumours about any home friendlies? Nothing yet, no. Very, very quiet on the Western Front on that one. I like coffee, says, I just had to Google who Sticky Vicky was. Oh, good God. Oh, good God. Delete your hard drive immediately. Right, we'll finish on this one, Billy. Come on then, lads, your top 3 Newcastle players of all time.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's an excellent one. Should we go one at a time each?
Yeah.
Peter Beardsley.
Yeah, he's my first one as well.
Alan Shearer, obviously.
I'm going Shea Given.
And my last one I really, really liked was, I'm going to say Bruno Guimaraes.
Bruno. Okay. There you go. Well, for my last one, I am going to say Patrick Kluivert. Because I've said it many times before on the show that I was a big Kluivert fan before he signed for Newcastle. I know he wasn't brilliant for us, but he scored some good goals for us and was always one of my favourite players. So it was brilliant when he signed for the Toon. So there you go. Another $4.99 from 12th Man Toon. This is also, Paul, great to see you back, mate. Hope you're getting on well, and the new dog is lifting spirits. Should get a cow for the back garden next. My daughter wants a cow. She ain't getting one. Irani Granny's favourite player is the great Irish Pele Jeff Hendrick.
Wow.
Well, there you go, guys. That is the show, all done and dusted. I hope you've enjoyed it tonight. Something a little bit different on a Sunday night. Obviously, the build-up now starts to the transfer window opening. The fixtures coming out next week as well. So I'll definitely be back with daily news videos. And, of course, we'll do quite a few transfer shows. Alex, I think he's into at least 600 pages of names, Billy, isn't he? So we've got plenty to go around. So yeah, we will certainly be bringing you plenty live stuff as well. We will do the England watch-alongs as well because it's good to watch them as a channel and have a good bit of banter in the chat as well. So it's good stuff. But obviously we are building up to the transfer window opening. It's very, very exciting. But we hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. As I say, something a little bit different. Thank you to the mods. Brilliant work again. Thank you for Susan promising to show everybody of me falling in the bloody sea. I really appreciate that. Thank you to all the new members and super chatters. Thank you to everybody that's obviously newly subscribed. They keep going up all the time. So thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate it. Thank you to Billy for tonight's company and, of course, everybody viewing. You've been amazing yet again, as you always are for every single show. The support we're getting is incredible, and I can't tell you in words how thankful I am for that from all of us really at the Toon Review. But that's it. We will see you. We will have a live show tomorrow night, so stay tuned for notification of what time that starts, and we will see you very soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Good night.
How are the lads and lasses?
Come back and check out